The video shows a cross-sectional view of a standard portable fire extinguisher, which is a critical active fire protection device used to extinguish or control small fires, often in emergency situations. Understanding the inner mechanics, components, and proper application of this life-saving tool is vital for workplace safety, residential security, and general emergency preparedness. This device functions on basic principles of physics and chemistry, utilizing stored pressure to expel an extinguishing agent directly onto a fire to interrupt the combustion triangle, which consists of heat, fuel, and oxygen. Looking closely at the internal anatomy presented in the image, we can identify several core components that make the system function. The outer shell is a heavy-duty steel or aluminum cylinder designed to withstand high internal pressure. Inside this cylinder, there are two distinct zones. The lower section contains the extinguishing agent, which appears represented by the large yellow block at the bottom, symbolizing dry chemical powder, foam, water, or clean agents depending on the specific class of the extinguisher. Running from the top valve assembly all the way down to the bottom of this agent reservoir is a long vertical tube known as the siphon tube or dip tube. When the extinguisher is operated, the internal pressure forces the extinguishing agent upward through this siphon tube, directing it toward the valve mechanism. Adjacent to the siphon tube, there is a smaller metallic cartridge or canister. In some specialized design variations, this represents a gas cartridge, often filled with compressed carbon dioxide or nitrogen. When the handle is squeezed, a mechanism punctures this internal cartridge, releasing high-pressure gas into the main cylinder to pressurize the agent and force it out. In more common stored pressure extinguishers, the entire upper volume of the main cylinder is directly filled with a pressurizing gas like dry nitrogen, while the chemical agent sits below it. At the very top of the device sits the operating mechanism, which includes a carrying handle and a discharge lever. Between these two handles is a safety pin secured by a tamper seal, which prevents accidental discharge. The visual pressure gauge attached to the neck is a critical indicator of readiness. It features a needle pointing to color-coded zones. Green indicates the unit is properly pressurized and ready for use, while red zones indicate it is either undercharged, meaning there is insufficient pressure to expel the agent, or overcharged, which poses a safety hazard. Connected to the valve assembly is a flexible, reinforced black hose terminating in a wide nozzle or horn. This component allows the operator to control the direction and spread of the extinguishing agent accurately from a safe distance. Using a fire extinguisher correctly requires strict adherence to a universally recognized four-step technique known by the acronym PASS. Each letter represents a specific action that must be performed sequentially. The first step is to pull the safety pin located at the top of the handle. Pulling this pin breaks the tamper seal and unlocks the discharge lever, making the device ready to operate. It is crucial not to squeeze the handle while pulling the pin, as the pressure can bind the pin in place. The second step is to aim the nozzle or horn. Many untrained individuals instinctively aim at the top of the flames, which is ineffective because the fire will simply continue to feed on the fuel below. The nozzle must be aimed directly at the base of the fire, targeting the actual fuel source that is burning. This ensures that the extinguishing agent covers the fuel and cuts off its contact with oxygen or chemically interrupts the chain reaction. The third step is to squeeze the operating lever. Squeezing the lever depresses a valve stem inside the head mechanism, opening the passage from the siphon tube to the discharge hose. The internal pressure immediately drives the extinguishing agent up the tube, through the hose, and out of the nozzle. To maintain a continuous flow, the lever must be held down firmly. Releasing the lever will stop the discharge, allowing the user to pause and re-evaluate the situation or reposition themselves if necessary. The final step is to sweep the nozzle from side to side. While maintaining an aim at the base of the fire, the operator should move the hose back and forth in a sweeping motion to completely cover the burning material with the extinguishing medium. As the fire begins to diminish, the operator can slowly step closer, maintaining a cautious distance, and continue sweeping until the fire is completely out. After the flames disappear, it is important to watch the area closely for several minutes, as smoldering embers can easily reignite. Before attempting to use an extinguisher, one must evaluate whether it is safe to fight the fire. Extinguishers are only meant for small, contained, incipient stage fires, such as a burning wastebasket or a small stovetop flare-up. If a fire is spreading rapidly, producing thick toxic smoke, or threatening the only exit route, immediate evacuation is mandatory. Furthermore, users must ensure they are using the correct type of extinguisher. Using a water-based extinguisher on an electrical or grease fire can cause violent explosions or severe electrocution. Regular maintenance, including checking the pressure gauge monthly and scheduling professional annual inspections, ensures that when an emergency arises, the internal components shown in the diagram will function flawlessly to protect lives and property.